WNBA star Britany Griner continuing to receive care at a medical facility, this in Texas. She's been back on U.S. soil since Friday after being imprisoned in Russia for nearly 10 months. Jessie Jane Duff is a retired gunnery sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps and a Newsmax contributor joining us live on this topic. Always good to see you. We appreciate you coming on, Jessie Jane Duff.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning to you. So Griner is recuperating at a military facility, as we know, before officially going home. Allegedly, she was able to hit the court, do some slam dunks. Paul Whelan, though, Marine, still in Russian custody. Merchant of death, Victor Bout, is free. These are just facts, no other way to put it. What are your thoughts on this deal?
This was a bad deal all the way around. The White House has flagrantly admitted that this is the best we could do. It was one or none. Essentially, they empowered Vladimir Putin to make the choices for the United States. That is not how we should be negotiating our deals. We essentially looked very weak, and we took a knee to Vladimir Putin in taking one American versus all three that are over there. We have Marc Fogle, who is a history teacher, who has been over there, who also had cannabis, very similar to Britany Griner, because it was medical marijuana. And then we have the false allegations by the statements of our own State Department against Paul Whelan. Meanwhile, the White House decided to make this the Dancing with the Stars and make sure that the celebrity coverage was taken. And I just find it despicable that any American was left behind when you have the merchant of death who will kill more Americans. He was in the business of killing Americans and making sure that many innocent people throughout the world are killed because of his weaponry. I just think this deal was bad all the way around. It wasn't a deal. It was essentially the White House getting what they want for their celebrity status and handing over to Vladimir Putin exactly what he desperately had wanted for many, many years.
I wanted to show you the response here. This is from the Strategic Communications Director for the National Security Council, John Kirby, appearing on the Sunday talk show circuit in regards to this. Here is that moment.
He would have gone free anyway in 2029. He wasn't serving a life sentence.
It's a long way away.
It's 6 years away. And nobody's doing backflips over there about the fact that Mr. Bout is a free man 6 years earlier than he would have been. I understand the criticism. They weren't in the room. They weren't on the phone. They weren't watching the incredible effort and determination by Mr. Carson's and his team to try to get both Paul and Britany out together. I mean, in a negotiation, you do what you can. You do as much as you can. You push and you push and you push. And we did.
But there's still room for criticism because he didn't give Victor Bout up at any other point, like you pointed out. That you had other opportunities, but when it came to the WNBA star, then somehow this became a deal that this administration, the negotiating team, they seemed to cave on. So on that point, but also at the expense, many critics point out, of a national security risk when you look at the profession of Victor Bout, a known national arms dealer.
Yeah, so Admiral Kirby, and I will call him Admiral because he is a retired United States naval officer, is feeding us a line of BS to suggest that they're not doing backflips over there. Yes, they are. They've already put them on the media. They've already mocked the United States for trading Griner for this arms dealer. They knew it was a weak deal. I mean, essentially, it's unfortunate that any American has ever taken. I was very empathetic to Britany Griner for being put into a Russian prison that was also a labor camp that was far beyond the sentencing of any crime that she had committed. I was embarrassed that conservatives were attacking her relentlessly because she wasn't of the same flavor of their politics. Politics has nothing to do with this. Serving as a Marine and as Admiral Kirby knows, we don't leave Americans behind. We don't check your voter registration prior to leaving. We don't make sure that when we pull you out that you are on the same ideology or religious persuasion or even sexual orientation as we are. We don't leave Americans behind. And he's saying we pushed and pushed. No, you didn't. You did exactly what Vladimir Putin asked you to do. You took a knee to it. Sorry for the pun on this, but that's exactly what happened. Britany Griner's a political activist, as most of us are. No political activist deserves to be sent to a labor camp, but nor does Paul Whelan, who did serve in Operation Iraqi Freedom, who was a police officer, who has been falsely charged. How is it that this should have been an either or in the first place? It should have been all Americans or no Americans, because hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of people will be killed as a result of this man getting back into the arms dealing business.
Yeah, the big question, does he go back to doing what he goes back to doing as the WNBA star goes back to playing basketball? Jessie Jane Duff with her thoughts. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good to see you and happy holidays to you.
Thank you.